Hi guys, I'm here to just talk through the digital control redundancy, the manual override function that we have on the 1600 and also the 1370. So the question that keeps coming up from customers when they're looking at the spec is what happens when their digital controls fail, if that were to happen, and is there a manual override system, and how can we steer the boat, how can we control the engines? So the throttle control, the electric throttle control, does have a redundancy feature. So I'll spin you around here. I'm on the 100, and we can see here we've got, on this boat, we've got a series of breakers, which are our high load breakers. That's the ECU for the engine control, and then this new control is the round override switch. So what we've got here, essentially, is if you were to have a power failure on the helm control, you turn the helm control off, you then turn the power on here, you'd then be able to then start the engine here, and you're controlling your RPM like this, obviously idle to high RPM and back, okay? And then you've also got a gear shift forward and reverse. Now people are worried also, what if your digital control is out on the gear shift as well? Well, that's okay, that's pretty straightforward. So on both the 1370 and the 1600, what is the digital control on the gear side of things? It's just powering an actuator, okay? So this rod is going backwards and forwards to go into gear one way, into gear the other way. So should you have a complete failure, you're coming to the ram, you're taking the split pin off, you're pulling it out, and then you're literally just pulling it out into gear one way and then into gear the other. So that's back into neutral there. I'm doing that with one hand. So, but that's your manual override. Now I'm sure you guys are thinking, well, wow, I can't be in the engine bay, while I'm driving the boat. Let's be realistic. We're talking about a very low frequency get me home solution. So, if you're out at sea and you're days away from safe haven, this is the way you're going to be getting home, right? You'll set your engine RPM, get into gear, and away you go. Now, sure, when you come into the marina, you don't want to be having someone down in the engine bay trying to deal with all this sort of stuff. You've got moving parts in the engine bay, so you're probably going to go to neutral and come in on one motor, or even you're going to ring ahead to the marina and say, hey, look, I'm needing some assistance to get into dock. But certainly, in terms of can you control the motor when you're at sea? Can you get home? Absolutely. This is a proven method. I've done it myself a few times. Of how you can control a motor when you've got a digital control that's failed or out of action. Okay, well I hope that's helpful to people that are making the decision on whether they should go ahead with the digital controls.